All right, good morning. Live here in Newcastle. Hi, Jay, great to see you. And I can see you already. I've jumped on. I'm at home. I'm on my own network and I've got a poor signal. How does that work? Let me know if everything's looking okay from your end because I've suddenly got a signal warning, which is just, just depressing, really, isn't it? How are you going, Jay? I hope you're well. I can see that there are 4 people with us already. Okay, so today what we're going to do is I've got 2 videos to present to you. One is a deep dive into my travel archives from more than 30 years ago. We're back in England. That's just a brief, it's about 10 minutes. We're hopping around Stonehenge and places in that sort of area of England. I'll talk you through it as we go. And then the second one, I went out the other day to a place that has no signal, and I was able to get a recording from the nature reserve where there's lovely wildlife, wombats. G'day, Sarah. Great to see you. Wombats, kangaroos, bird life. It's a really lovely spot, and sadly, there's just no signal there. I was even chatting to one of the wildlife carers, and he said, "Yeah, we have to drive around the corner and up over a hill to use our phones." So yeah, it's pretty dire over there. So I was able to take a lovely video, and it was a gap in the rain. We've had rain for at least a week, and we've got more rain forecast for about another week, and I've had to put off as a result the Wuthering Heights event twice now. It's not happening this weekend, and it won't be happening now until next weekend. So that's the situation with the rain around us at the moment. All right, so what I'm going to do first of all is bring up the, how do we go here, this one here. So this is where we were for the first little recording. The pins on the map show you, the red one is Stonehenge, the green one is Salisbury Cathedral, the purple pin is Old Sarum, the blue pin is Glastonbury Glastonbury Tor. That's the one in the middle there that you see. And then the final 2 over on the west, on the left-hand side, are the towns of Watchet and Dunster. And as you can see, they're just to the south of Bristol. Probably, I'm just trying to remember the distances. I did have another map, but I had trouble loading it for some reason. I can't do more than I can. No, yeah. Well, I can only do what I'm restricted by the conditions that allow me to. So this is where we're headed, and can you see the little arrow? If I'm using that arrow, maybe only I can see that. So basically, we start off at Stonehenge and we move gradually west from there. Let's get into that one. Okay. So here we go. We start off at Stonehenge, and we took my parents there. Everyone knows what Stonehenge is. Stonehenge dates back there. 5,000 years was when they first started to build it. It's a stone circle that was used for worship. They built it in alignment with the sun. My question to my husband, Richard, just the other day was, how did they know what was recorded to be? It was only a minute or 2 hours away. How did they actually know what was supposed to be? I have no idea how they figured it out. So yes, it's very, very shaky, but here we go. This is the beautiful, absolutely stunning Stonehenge. I mean, you see it so many times in pictures and movies. There's Richard, and there's my father. And we are walking around Stonehenge, and it's quite awe-inspiring when you're actually there. So the stone circles, again, it's still a bit of a mystery about how the whole thing was constructed with primitive methods. There's been various attempts to explain it, and I think the consensus is that they used timber and trees and logs and used very basic pulley systems and that sort of thing to actually get the stones upright and in place. But yeah, that was quite astonishing visiting Stonehenge. Good morning, Ronnie Lynn. How you going? So Richard's saying, "Come on, let's go." And it's just absolutely amazing when you're actually there seeing this site. The stones, there's two types of stones. There's bluestone and saracen, which is kind of sandstone. And then we moved on to Salisbury Cathedral, which some of you may have noticed. Anyone who does have a faith has possibly noticed that I've been adding a few live services to the calendar. And it's a way to get to see the inside of the gorgeous Salisbury Cathedral as well. If you're wondering why I've been adding those services, again, it's for that reason. We get to see inside places like Canterbury Cathedral, Westminster. I've been on the lookout for synagogues as well. So whether or not you have faith, this is a lovely way to actually see inside some of these beautiful cathedrals and places of worship. So yeah, the Salisbury Cathedral, it was literally just down the road from Stonehenge. And there's meant to be music on this, and there's no music, and I don't know why. I did actually add music to it, but for some reason we're not getting music, which is a shame. So I apologize for that, because just watching the video without music it could be better. The stained glass windows, you can hear music. Oh, okay, maybe it's my volume. Oh, there we go. Look at that. There is music. That was me. User error. That's better. And the ceiling is gorgeous. It's all painted with frescoes. I've got the music now too, Sarah. It's very faint, but it's there. Listening to it in silence was just underwhelming. I had some facts on Salisbury Cathedral and they've sort of completely vanished, but I was trying to absorb a lot. And then this was at Christmas time. My parents came over to visit just before Christmas. There's my mum walking towards the camera. So from Salisbury Cathedral, we moved to Old Sarum. And Old Sarum is an ancient town, an ancient settlement, basically. It dates back to a similar era to Stonehenge. I don't know if I could show you in any case, it was an ancient settlement, just basically down to the ruins, the foundations. Now there's very little left of it, but you can see the outline when we come around here of the original settlement. Hi, Dawn, great to see you. We're at Old Sarum here. And King Richard I apparently lived here. It was mentioned in the Domesday Book. And it's a really fascinating site. You can see there where the grass has grown over the edge of the town. So that's Mum and Dad. And next we moved on to Glastonbury Tor. Now this is just a really oddly shaped hill with a church up on top of it. So it's the ruins of St Michael's Church sitting up on top of it. Glastonbury, of course, is referenced in lots of Arthurian stories and legends. And I'm amazed I managed to climb up it. Incredible view, as you can imagine, from the top. But one hell of a climb. They found artifacts there from the Iron Age, apparently, and they uncovered some buildings that were constructed during the Saxon and early medieval periods. There's also remains of a wheel cross dating from the 10th or 11th century. So all sorts of eras. There was a wooden church that was destroyed in an earthquake in 1275. I'm just skimming, as you can probably tell, I'm skimming through some facts on Wikipedia. And it says here, the iron-rich waters of Chalice Well, a spring at the base of the Tor, flow out as an artesian well, impregnating the sandstone around it with iron oxides that have reinforced it to produce the caprock. Yeah, lots of steps, Sarah. Have you been there? I know Matthew has. He was sharing some pictures with us a couple of weeks ago of his visit to Glastonbury, or probably only a few years after we'd been there. And now we've moved on to Watchet.
We're here at Watchet in West Somerset, Exmoor National Park. And this is the Atlantic Ocean coming into the Bristol Channel and the Severn River. A little harbour here, and it gives you an idea just how high the tides are here.
Another rainy day in England.
It's very wet and windy and bleak. Obviously typical of this area.
So we were obviously fascinated by that tide, the very low tide there. Good morning, Susanna. Lovely to see you. We're actually...
That's incredible, isn't it? I think the ship would fall over.
This video we're watching right now is from about 35 years ago in England.
Just stuck in the mud or what? No, that's what this cool spot is. Not a lot of room there. Look at the ship to get through there, really. No.
So that's me in my much younger days, Susanna, with my parents, and we were in Watchet in Somerset. So I think this fellow must be called Jonathan. We decided that's Jonathan Livingston. Do you remember Jonathan Livingston Seagull? And now we're in Dunster, which was just up the road from Watchet. And it's a market town. So the castle here dates from Norman times. It's the castle on top of the hill there. And then this is the market. So it was a yarn market or a textile market that dated from medieval times. And there's the castle again and the hill at the end of the street. Now I've popped in a photo of what it looks like now or more recently. It's obviously gone through a couple of renovations since those early Norman days. So as I said, just a brief dip into the archives as we as we deal with our old video and I decide whether any of it's worth um, looking at again or not. Uh, I'm obviously editing quite a lot out of it. We were definitely not skilled camera people back in those days. And another Christmas tree. All right, so that was yes, that was the deep dive into the archives. Now let's head off to the wildlife park. And as I mentioned, this is Blackbutt Reserve, which is only a 10-minute drive from us here in Newcastle. Good morning, Annette. Great to see you. So Blackbutt Reserve is a little council-run wildlife park. It's free to go in. The only cost is the parking. And it's a lovely little wildlife park, but as I said, there's no signal there, so I haven't been able to bring it to you live. This is the next best thing, so let's have a look at it. All right, so we've pulled into the car park at Blackbutt Reserve, and this is where we're going today. We're going to go and see, hopefully, the Wombat, if he's still awake, some wallabies, koalas, birds, reptiles. There's a lovely lake, and then we're going to go and have a look at kangaroos and emus. So let's go. So there's a cafe here, lovely playground and park, picnic tables for children. We'll have a look at the cafe on the way back out. We're starting to see the wattle come into flower. Beautiful golden wattle is really starting to come into flower now. We know that there are cockatoos in the area because this is what they do to the trees. Take chunks off it. We've got a bunch of school kids, so we might wait and let them go through a few minutes ahead of us. So we'll go down to the lower level, which is kind of the opposite direction the kids are going in. And there's a peacock up ahead of us. Not a native, but he looks like he owns the place. So this is the pond. And we often see turtles in here, so let's see if we see any today. I can see a coot. Possibly two. And I just heard the emu. So since the kids are over in the wildlife park, how about we go and see the emus? There's a noisy miner on the path ahead of us. And this enclosure here, I believe, it's been a little while since I've been here, but I believe this is the emu enclosure. So let's see if we can find the emus. This is free to enter, apart from parking. Parking is charged by the hour. And $6 gets you an hour of parking. And we have these beautiful eucalyptus trees. I think this one might be a blue gum, I'm not really sure. Keeping an eye out for the emus. It's a bit tricky at the moment because I'm looking into the sun. Okay, what have we got here? Go and hide behind the tree, that's right. I think that's a swamp wallaby hiding behind the tree there. Okay. There's an emu. Alright, I just found one. He's over there by the shed. It's as far as I can zoom in. But he is just over there by the shed. There he is. see if we can get a little bit closer. It's a lovely big enclosure. Of course, you know, it's out in the open, in the wild is better for animals, of course, but this does give people an opportunity to actually see the wildlife. And they are well cared for here. Alright, so we've got some wallabies here. They might be red-necked wallabies, these ones. I'll just find a spot where we can stop and zoom in. Okay. Oh. We've got a crow heading towards us and some minor birds. There's some more kangaroos over here on our right. We're just going to get a little bit closer to them. Meanwhile, keeping an eye out for the emus. But let's have another little look at these guys first. Oh, there's... No, it's not. I thought I saw the head of a baby. But I was mistaken. Right, that one's head is in shadow at the moment. Okay, so there's a bigish kangaroo over here. Let's see if we can get a bit closer. And I've spotted a couple of emus. There we go. They're actually looking our way. I'd say they are the eastern greys. Watching him hop away, it's difficult with the fence wire. There he goes. And then the emus. Let's find those emus. There's one there. Let's move a little bit further along. There we go. There's the two of them. Okay. Let's head around this way. It's lovely forest here. Okay, I'm getting another look at the emu from this spot. Emu's doing a little bit of grooming, and then there's a kangaroo at the feed station. So this isn't one of those places where you can actually walk in among the kangaroos like you can at Featherdale. There's another emu enclosure down there, I've just noticed. So there seem to be two separate enclosures. I'm not sure if they can get in. Oh yeah, there's a gate open down there, so they can move between the two. Yeah, there's a gate that's open down there. And there's the other emu just to the left of this tree. Let's see if we can, there we go, that's a bit better. And it's on the other side of the fence in the adjoining enclosure. We've got a kangaroo on the right as well. Okay, let's move along. Oh, here's an emu quite close to us. Okay, let's get in nice and close to this boy. Doing some nice grooming there. Right, he's moving away from us. He's going to go behind that tree now, I think. On the sign here it indicates that there's red kangaroo and eastern wallaroo in this enclosure. Red kangaroo is larger than the eastern grey kangaroo, although the eastern grey is stockier. So the red kangaroo is much leaner. It generally lives in central Australia, where the eastern grey kangaroo habitat is along the east coast of Australia. Okay, still looking for that red kangaroo, don't see it. Even in an enclosure as open as this, it is possible for them to not be readily visible. There is a kangaroo hopping towards us, but I don't think it's not a red kangaroo. Okay, what do we have here? They look like wallabies to me. And there's a magpie. got such pretty faces, haven't they? Now that looks like a very full pouch to me, but I could be wrong. But it definitely looks like a full pouch, doesn't it? Right, so let's head back towards the wildlife enclosure, the wildlife park, back through the car park. This is what the forest looks like here. Alright, we're taking opportunity to slip in between two groups, otherwise we'll never get in there today. So this is what we can expect to see, and we have our fingers crossed that the wombat, I think there's only one at the moment, hoping that the wombat is actually awake. They tend to come out, get fed, which is why I aim to be here right on opening. But I missed my opportunity ahead of a school group, so hopefully he's still awake. We'll see. We'll see when we get here. But we have this lovely boardwalk leading to the entrance of Blackbutt Nature Reserve, set in a beautiful forest. This gate opens at 10 AM in the morning. Alright, so fingers crossed that the wombat is, oh there he is, I can see him. See if I can get a little closer. There is a group there, but let's see if we can get a little closer.
She had dug a tunnel underneath and was actually at risk of breaking the plumbing. Wombats are incredible diggers. In one night they can dig through about 2 meters of earth, and they are strong enough that they can dig through concrete. It takes them a while, but they can do it, and it has happened in the past at other zoos where a wombat has dug a tunnel down to the concrete slab underneath their exhibit and managed to dig their way out. So very, very powerful diggers. A lot of their adaptations in their morphology are for an underground lifestyle. So just her general body shape makes it nice and easy to move around through underground spaces. Short, stubby legs make it much, much easier to dig. So if you imagine you trying to dig inside a tunnel, really hard to get leverage. So short, stubby legs makes it much, much easier. But another really cool adaptation she has, if you look at her rear end here, she has a cartilage shield that's about 5 centimeters thick. And she uses it as a defense against predators. So something, say like a dingo hunts her, what she will do is run into her burrow and block the entrance with that plating. So even as the dingo tries to attack her, it doesn't do her any harm. But wombats are not as cute and cuddly as they look. They can be very aggressive little animals, and they can use that shield as a weapon. So what they will do if the dingo is being particularly persistent is they will slam their shield against the roof of their tunnel, and they can do that with such force that it crushes the dingo's skull. So if you ever see a wombat go into its burrow, don't follow it, because chances are you won't come back out. But wombats are solitary and territorial animals out in the wild, but like most wildlife, if you annoy them, they will warn you. So if you happen upon a wombat out in the wild, the first thing they're going to do is just move away from you. Their main interest is just to get to safety. But if for whatever reason they feel like they can't do that, then they're going to warn you that you are too close by hissing at you. And you're not going to mistake it for some kind of gentle purr. It is a very angry sound. Sally was doing it to me earlier this morning because I woke her up too early. But if you abide by that warning and leave the wombat alone, no problem. But if you ignore the warning and continue annoying the wombat, then the wombat is probably going to chase you. Now you might not think to look at them, but a wombat can run at about 40 kilometers an hour. That's faster than us. And even at this size, she's not quite full grown, and she's not even a particularly large wombat. She weighs at just about 35 kilos. Wombats can get up towards 50 kilos. So 50 kilos moving at ankle height at 40 kilometers an hour, you are coming down. Once they knock you over, what they will probably do then is start to bite you. Now obviously, being a herbivore, they don't have the kind of cutlery that you might expect on something like the Tasmanian devil, but a bite from a wombat does not tickle. The teeth at the front of their mouth are self-sharpening chisels. Have any of you ever been bitten by a rabbit? Imagine that, times it by about 200. That's what it's like being bitten by a wombat. If they want to, they will take a chunk out of your leg. So, if you happen upon a wombat out in the wild, the best thing to do is just leave them alone and give them space, as it is with all wildlife. Unfortunately, wombats are struggling a little bit out in the wild. This particular species of wombat are doing okay. So this is the common or bare-nosed wombat. They are found from Victoria and Tasmania right the way up the east coast of Queensland. Then there is the northern hairy-nosed wombat, which is found in just a small pocket of inland Queensland. There's thought to only be a few hundred of them left in the world. So they are critically endangered. And the southern hairy-nosed is found throughout South Australia and Victoria. They're doing okay, but their populations are also in a big decline. And one of the biggest reasons for that is deforestation. So as it is with most Australian natives, they are losing a huge amount of their habitat to urban development, agriculture and mining. But the biggest straight up killer of wombats is cars. Now being nocturnal, obviously they're going to be out and about more after dark. So when we are driving, really, really important to drive carefully and keep a close eye on the sides of the road so that we don't accidentally hit them. Because believe me, if you hit a wombat in your car's probably going to be a write-off. But one thing that is very, very important, especially as we're coming in towards spring, if we do happen to hit a wombat, you are required to check on the animal. Now in many cases, they might initially survive the impact, run off into the bushes, but if the wombat has been hit and killed, it's really, really important to find out if it's male or female. Now that's really, really easy. You roll it onto its back. If it's a male, you will notice. More importantly though, if it is a female, is to check to see if there is a joey in its pouch or a joey nearby. So the really cool thing with wombats is mum acts as a massive shield for her baby. So even if she's been hit and killed by a car, chances are her joey is perfectly safe inside her pouch. So what we need to do is get that joey into human care. Now, if the joey is attached to mum's teeth, do not try and remove it. You'll break their jaw, and that's irreversible. So the best thing to do, take the whole body, wrap it up in something soft and warm, get it to your nearest wildlife hospital or vet. Because wild wombats, orphaned wombats should I say, have a very, very high survival rate. So even if mum's been hit and killed and that baby is still dependent on their mother, we can still rehabilitate them in human care and get them back out to the wild. Almost all of the wombats that you see in zoos in Australia are orphans. They've been brought into human care as a result of losing their mothers in the wild. So we don't breed these kinds of wombats because there is such a high rate of rescue being required. But for other marsupials like kangaroos and wallabies, when mum gets hit by a car, usually her joey just dies at the same time. So wombats do have really high survival rates for being orphaned. So a lot of work is done to help protect them. And these days, we usually get about 70% of them back out to the wild. So it used to be much, much harder because we didn't understand their behavioural needs. But now we have a much better understanding of what they require, so we can get them back out to the wild much more reliably. But wombats are very, very cool animals and really, really important for our forest ecosystems because they provide a vital service, which might come as a bit of a surprise, but it is really, really cool. So wombats obviously live in tunnels, and their tunnel systems can be 20 to 30 meters long. And one wombat might have 3 or 4 sets of tunnels in their territory. Now what happens is during bushfires, a lot of other animals will take shelter in wombat burrows. So there's been loads of occasions, over a dozen different species of animals have been seen hiding in the same wombat tunnel. But if we lose wombats from those ecosystems, we lose that tunnel system, bushfires will be far more devastating than they already are. So, like all of our native animals, very, very important to take care of them.
There's one up there too.
Where's Lulu? Lulu, get down here. They are a little bit more nervy than usual because over the course of the weekend that tree came down and it only got chopped up yesterday, so having the guys in with chainsaws and everything, they just went up the top, so that's fine. They're just the after effect of that today. But one of those girls does have a very young Joey with her. You might see it poke its nose out of her pouch. But it's not furred yet, and I don't think it's quite got its eyes, so it's still very, very young.
So this is a protection to, so animals don't escape. And now in here, hopefully, we'll see some koalas. What are you? I think this is a wonga pigeon. Now over here, we have 2 koalas and a lady with a ladder, so I don't know if she's going to try and get to the koalas, but let's go and have a look at them. 2 sleepy koalas. One there and one up there. Very sleepy right now. Also in this enclosure we have all sorts of birds. I'll keep an eye on the koala and see if they show any signs of being awake. But otherwise, let's see what birds we can see. There's some lorikeets up there.
Some of them might come down. Poppy will.
Alright, we might get to see some lorikeets.
Yeah. Settle your kettle. Poppy.
Yeah, you don't want that. You want to bite me instead.
No, you had one and you dropped it. You didn't even want it. Yeah, you have it.
Oi! Look
to be such a rat bag for me. Yeah, do you mind? I'm trying to do something. That's a white-browed wood swallow. So in the process of trying to get him to come when called, so he knows at this time of day, if he just comes forward, he'll be getting his food. But I'm trying to teach him to come when I tap the cups. So that at any other time of the day, if I come in and tap cups on here, he'll come forward. Because it just makes it so much easier in the event we have to move him or we want to do health checks or whatever. Because one of the challenges we have in here is if we ever need to catch one of the birds, say they're unwell or we're going to relocate some, as soon as we walk in with the catch net, everyone goes straight to the top, we can't get them. So trying to condition him to come to the front makes it much easier for us. Now this one is hand-reared, so that's why she's much bolder and much happier, and she's also a massive rat bag. The other ones are mostly just naturally bred in here. In fact, I think we might actually have, I think it was in that box or in that one. So in the next 3 weeks or so, we'll have some young birds emerging. So rainbow lorikeets are a very common species to find pretty much everywhere throughout Australia because they're basically gangsters. They form large groups and they will bully your other animals. So one of the challenges that we have is when people see these wild birds, they will usually these guys will turn up and they actually bully other species out of the area. So when we artificially feed wild lorikeets, their population grows very rapidly. And all the smaller bird species are taken away. So your scarlet honeyeaters, fine-bills, little lorikeets, Mary lorikeets, and this is these guys to take over.
All right, so that was really good to see the birds and hand feeding of the lorikeets. So now we have some individual exhibits. This one says it has a lace monitor, which is a goanna, what we commonly call a goanna. So is he there? Oh yes, there he is, inside his little cave there, keeping warm. It's got a really long tail. And then we have some bird enclosures. What sort of owl do we have? Barking owl, right. Oh really?
Yeah, that's why we came back, didn't we?
Oh, there's the other one, barking. They sound like a dog?
Is it?
It's pretty, isn't it? Right, so that was barking owls. And while we're here, look, I love looking up underneath tree ferns. They're so pretty. So in this one here, I think we have all little small birds and finches. So they might be tricky to see, but let's have a go. Okay, so high up on the net there, we can see there's some parrots of some sort. Okay, keep following the boardwalk. You can see that we're still fairly high above the ground. We're gradually descending. So this enclosure here, more birds. I think there's a lot of mainly budgerigars. I'm hoping we'll see this guy though. Let's have a look and see if we can find the Gordian finch or the superb fairy wren. Both beautiful birds. Well, there's a Gordian finch right in the middle there. Okay, let's zoom in on that guy. So pretty. And there's another little finch just above it. Let's see, can I get, there it is. What have we got in here? Looks like we've got Rosella. Oh, there it is. There it is, down there. Beautiful Rosella. Just one?
There's 3 of them.
Oh, there's another one up there.
And there is another one right there.
Oh,
So there's a little ledge up here they really like to sit on.
Just his little tail hanging
Yeah.
out.
So it's mum, dad, and last year's, or the year before, last year's
Right.
fledgling.
Okay.
And there's 2 others that fledged
Oh,
just
look
this
at the
past
red on the
summer.
side of the tail. I've
Yeah.
never noticed that before.
Stunning colours. So we put the other, so they had 2 more just this past breeding season, and they've gone into the main aviary.
Beautiful.
So you tend not to see them so much in there, just 'cause it's such a big space.
And lots of foliage as there
Yeah.
should be. Yeah. Your sign says you've got a cockatoo? No, that's just about
We,
cockatoos.
we did used to have cockatoos in here. We had 2 red-tailed black cockatoos.
That's red-legged, what are they? Stit or something, I think it's called. Is it a stit or a stilt? Anyway, that guy there.
It's just me. I'm just me. Let me go.
So that's basically it. We'll have a look at the lower Wombat enclosure and see if we can see, what did he say her name was? Sally. I think he said her name was Sally. She's probably gone to sleep now though. And I'm sure I saw on Facebook just last week that the male Wombat has passed away. So that's sad, and I'm betting that they'll be on the lookout for another Wombat that they can fill their display with. This is the education space for schools. And then down below us we have the cafe and picnic area, so we'll check that out in a moment. But let's first of all see if Sally's still around. So we were up top on that upper platform when we first arrived. And I don't think she's out in the enclosure still, so there's a good chance that she's probably gone to bed.
It's up the end here.
Thought she might be, yeah.
Sleep.
There we go. Sweet dreams, Sally. This is a fabulous park for parents with young children, particularly on weekdays. So it looks like they have a garden on top of the cafe. I wonder if that's some kind of water filtration system. Oh, hello. Bush turkeys. I've seen a few bush turkeys walking around. Gorgeous day like today. We've had rain for about a week. So many people are out and about. The grassed areas are roped off because it's probably very wet and soggy. And there's a big queue for the cafe, so I think I'll give it a miss. Brand new cafe. It's only just reopened in the last couple of weeks. Okay. Blackbutt Cafe. So that's Blackbutt Reserve. And over that side there's a children's playground.
All right, so what did you think of Blackbutt Reserve? That was a gorgeous day. I had to make the most of it and get out there and do that recording because it was just a beautiful day, and I haven't done anything live for such a while that I really had to take advantage of it. What did you think? Did you enjoy it? Bit noisy with all the cockatoos. Dawn says we had some peacocks living wild where I live. Yeah, I know someone who lives about an hour south of here that has a little colony of peacocks that are just wild in his neighbourhood as well. And it says at our zoo, if you go to the cafe before closing, they give you loads of free hot dogs. Cool. All right, so that was it. Does anybody want to see the update on the fence? I've made some progress. I can show you if you're interested. It means me opening this door behind me, and I just need to get up out of this chair to do it. So let's show you where we're up to. And when it stops raining, we've got a bit of sun right now, which is good. We haven't made any plans for today, but let's see what it looks like outside. Oh gosh, it's really bright. Okay. Open the door. Open this door. And here's what the fence looks like now. Okay. I can't zoom in on it, obviously, because I'm on my laptop, but there you go. That's the state of the fence at the moment. Foliage has been added and around the corner, and I don't know if you can see, we changed colours at that point there. There we go. That's the fence. We're getting there slowly but surely. And when I get some more paint, I'll add blades of grass down the bottom, like big, tall, grassy bits. That's a bit bright. I'm going to shut that again. So yeah, I'll keep you updated with that as it progresses. And what are we doing today? I don't know if we're doing anything. Our TV's on the blink. Getting our TV looked at. So we are a TV-free zone right now. We're relying on laptops and mobiles and what have you for our entertainment at the moment. Oh, look, and it's, I don't know if it's talent. It's bravado. That's what it is. It's bravado. So I don't know. We haven't really planned what we're going to do today. The ground is very wet everywhere, so I'm not sure if we'll even be going and doing any walk. I had a couple of places in mind that I wanted to go explore, but I don't know. I think the ground's going to be very wet and flooded everywhere we go. So just have to have a think about it. Dawn says, are you going to paint birds and critters on your fence too? Do you know what? I have some ideas for that, Dawn. I don't think I'll go too wild with that, but I have a couple of ideas. There may be some stenciling involved. I'm not really sure. There's a movie coming up on the calendar. Yeah, there is. I saw that. I wonder who put that there. Yeah, I'll be looking out for stuff to put on the calendar as well. And as you all know, the calendar is a bit of a guide-free zone at the moment. There's not a lot happening guide-wise. Andrea and Evia, of course, are on their summer holidays. So you're looking at my wardrobe over there. The Walk the Line, yeah, that's right. I'm really actually quite interested in having a look at that with Joaquin Phoenix. I'll sit down for a second. Of course, Andrea and Evia are on their summer holidays, so it's catch them when you can as far as they go. I think Ian had something on earlier today, trying to get Pallavi, who does the mandalas in India. I'm trying to get her to put her event on the calendar. You're doing the virtual kitchen tomorrow. Yep, that is the soup, the chicken and mushroom soup from Meghan Markle's cookbook. And Ian is on. Is it today, Dawn? Yeah, and Dawn's been adding a couple of Ians to the calendar. I need to catch up with I haven't actually noticed. I think you had a couple more you were going to add. What else was there? I saw something else. Diptarup, our Indian academic, is I think on tomorrow, and this is all from memory. I can't remember. But in the meantime, because there's a lot of guides doing in-person stuff, I'm on the hunt for more events that I can add to fill those gaps, so that we can keep you with things to do. Early next week. Okay, great. Thanks, Dawn. You've got Old Hollywood next week. And I was thinking, I think you might have missed a comment in one of our chats, Annette. I was actually thinking of taking up the challenge where Paula mentioned something about salmon and maple syrup. I might think about doing something that I came across that actually combines the two. So extending that Canada theme. Still having to think about that. And you'll be doing the Monet Immersive soon. All right, so So we have Annette and I keeping things moving along while most of our guides are on their well, they're not summer breaks. They're concentrating on in-person tours. So that's about it. Sarah says, looking forward to your virtual kitchen, Annette. Yep, that'll be good. And I don't think there's anything else. Just trying to think if I missed anything. No, I don't think so. I'm still doing lots and lots of video editing. If you're still happy to see the old videos from our early travels, I'll keep them as short as possible because I know the quality is just not great, and I'll try and add music and edit them down to make them watchable. But I'm working on right now Kenya, so I've just popped about 25 minutes of Kenya footage into my video editor, and that's ready for me to start looking at. They're interesting to see. Great. Excellent, Dawn. What else have I got? Oh, Russia. There's some footage from Russia that's coming up as well. So, and we did a 4-day weekend trip to Moscow, and in those days it was called Leningrad still. So we went to the circus. We went and saw the Leningrad circus at the Kirov Theatre, which was quite amazing, and opera that put me to sleep. We were hoping to see the ballet, but we got the opera instead, and that totally put me to sleep. I hope I wasn't snoring up there in the stalls. Anyway, yeah. So we've got some footage from Moscow and Leningrad coming your way in a few weeks when I get it all sorted and finished. All right, everyone. Oh, Gregory, hi. You silently sitting in the background again. I love it. Love it when you pop right at the end and add a little bit to the chat. Great to see you. Yeah, opera would keep you awake, really, Dawn. Yeah, I'm not. Oh dear, I don't understand it, and maybe it was just too soothing. All right, everyone, I'm gonna go. We're gonna start on breakfast, so I'll leave you to it. And thanks for joining me as always. And have a great day, evening, night, whatever it is in your part of the world. I know for you guys in the UK, it's pretty late right now. Okay, thanks everyone. Bye for now. Thanks, Annette. Thanks, everyone.